Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Unmixed and Unmastered, episode 4. And we're here with a special guest, Kota. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, it's how you say it, man. Say it
Yeah.
however you want.
Mm-hmm. And would you like to introduce yourself?
So I'm Kota. I'm 19, working as a student in a BTS. I don't know. It's a French thing. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
superior, basically biological and all that. That's
Uh-huh.
basically it.
And you're a Squid fan, right? And
Oh
when I
man,
when I
love them.
asked you which one you would like to do, you chose Cowards. So could you explain why you chose this one?
Well, it was a choice between Bright Greenfield or Coward for me because I'm not a big fan of Monolith. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
love it. But Bright Greenfield is great, but I don't think it had as much depth as Cowards because it's so much better build up and it's nice because there's more like slow songs. The, it just takes its time and it's great. I was at the listening party when it came before it came out. It was absolutely a masterpiece on first listen.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, that's actually how I got into Squid, just by listen
Oh,
and joining the listening party, and I was hooked immediately. And going back to Bright
oh,
Green Field and Oh Monolith, that stuff.
okay. So you discovered with Coward?
Yeah, Cowards.
Oh man,
Yeah.
already had the good stuff. I had to wait like 2 years before the second album came out. I was
Mm.
just listening around the first album.
So wait, how was it? What was your introduction to them?
My dad listened to the radio sometimes, and
Mm-hmm.
they talked about Squid and narrator. And when he came back home, he was like, "Oh man, I gotta make you listen to this and put some narrator." And I ate it. I absolutely ate it. It was a time where I was more into old rock, 70s, 60s, and all that. And I don't know how it happened, but it got on my YouTube feed. I was never connected to his PC, so I don't know how it came on my feed. I listened to it and I was like, oh, it's very nice actually. And the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. And then it was just a rabbit hole, the first album that I discovered other bands in the same genre.
Mm.
So that's my introduction. I like this story.
Yeah. So, for those that are uninitiated with Squid, so they're kind of how many members are there? One, two, three, four, five. So there's 5 members,
Five.
and really uniquely, the drummer Ollie Judge sings, and which makes it
Yeah.
very I'm impressed. Like he can do that well, drumming, and they're kind of in this scene called windmill scene. Could you describe what that is to?
So the windmill scene is just a little place in England. I don't know where exactly, but it's where most artists get discovered. It was a factor for Squid, but also Black Midi, Black Country New Road. Those are great bands that were discovered over there. I think Shane went there as well, and more recently there's like Cursor that are just great. Love them. But yeah, it's basically the scene where all those bands get discovered with Speedy and Underground.
Oh yeah.
I hope it's correct what I'm saying.
Yeah. I
Um,
I read somewhere. Yeah, that's basically what it is. But yeah,
yeah.
lots of different stuff is in the windmill scene. See post punk and that post rock and experimental stuff is kind of what
Yes.
windmill scene is kind of. There's some other
It
things.
was.
Wait, sorry.
No,
Oh, okay.
was,
I thought you were gonna say something. But
no, no.
yeah, yeah. So they got people got onto them because of Bright Green Field. That was kind of their big most popular
Uh,
album.
I think people got into them more because of the single Houseplants that came out
Oh.
a lot before, and Town Center kind of showed what they were able to do. and Brad Goodfin was just a bang,
Yeah.
banger.
And so we're gonna talk about more about the album. So I want to kind of get into like the cover because it's kind of it's a really nice one. Like you see like the scorpion and like
Yeah,
what do you think about it?
it's interesting because the album is called Cowards, and at the same time, the cover is like someone holding the scorpion needle, if that's correct,
Yeah, yeah.
and almost forcing himself to get attacked. I don't know, but it's like the opposite of being a coward, just
Yeah,
facing the
bravery.
danger. So it's nice. There's a balance into it. So right from the cover, I didn't see it at first. I just realized it today. It was like, damn, there's a depth even in the covers. It's a really nice cover. Love it.
Yeah, and they sort of like throughout the whole album they kind of talk about that idea of like cowards in that way. So it's nice that the
Yeah.
cover also relates to that. And yeah, like when you first listened to it, like what were your first thoughts on it? And
Oh,
all
it's so different.
yeah.
First with Crispy Skin, the first single that came out. There's like this part at the end of the song that's just the good piano. There's like it's acoustic piano. And it was the first time I heard them do acoustic piano, and it was just the most beautiful thing I heard, and I was like, oh man, it's beautiful.
Hmm. Yeah. It's a really like grand album from their other ones. Like I feel like Bright Green
Yeah.
Field is really cold. And then this one is like there's a lot of layers in this one. Which
There's
I know.
warmth to it.
And we'll
Yeah.
sort of kind of get into that like comparisons between Bright Green Field. But yeah, like listening to this one, it's very different because there's no like I feel like dance punk anymore. Like they kind of got rid of that. And I think in
Yeah.
O Monolith they kind of like got rid of that too, but it's like it's sort
They
of
started to get away.
Mm-hmm.
It was a disappointment for me at the time, but now I just accept it and I went full into it. I love it. The new style.
Yeah, they hone in on
It-
that Radiohead vibes kind of.
Exactly, man. We're talking at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. They were screaming on the first album, and it was really. It had a cathartic vibe to it. It was great because I could do a whole listen and just at the end be like, "Damn, that was great," and on the live session as well. But then Monolith came, and I was just disappointed because there was no screaming except for in the Blades, which is still maybe one of my favorite songs ever. But now I got accommodated to it, and I just love the new sound.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking about like bands that came out of Windmill Scene, like Black Country New Road, Black Midi. How would you compare like those acts to like?
It's the big three.
Yeah.
It's the big three. Black Midi, Black Continuous Road, and Squid are the big three. There's Black Midi with their math rocks from the start with Schlagenheim. Cavalcade, which was already a little softer, but then Hellfire came and just destroyed all that. They have a real sound. Each one of them have a unique sound. That's what I would say about them. It's unique. It's supposed to be in the same genre, but they never sound the same. And that's absolutely beautiful because genre is dead now, and everyone can do absolutely whatever they want.
Yeah, that is true. So, do you want to play a little track, maybe?
Yeah, we can do that.
So you chose Cowards, which is like the towards the end kind of section.
Yeah.
And why did you choose this one?
I really like Squids getting soft in their songs, 2010 Siphon songs, and I just was waiting for a song like that on this album. There was already Fieldworks Part 1, but Cowards is just so goddamn beautiful, man. There's this part where it just blow up and there's the cornet that arrive and there's the guitar and they play the same thing. It's the warmth what I was talking about. It's this song. This song is the warmth.
Okay. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good description of this. Yeah, I agree completely. So we'll play it. Do you just want to play like a little section or just the whole song? Do you think would
Oh,
be?
it's however you want, man. I mean, as long as I can hear the
Yeah, you
build
hear
up
it.
and yeah, as long
Yes.
as I can hear the explosion, I'm glad.
Okay.
It's good to me.
It's always raining in the castle, but never outside. You switch it on, you switch it off all the time. Why do I dress when there's no one else to see? Polythene bag, lowered to the streets. Polythene bag, lowered to the streets. Polythene bags will never go away. Rust dogs and rats will never escape. If you said it could be better out, I probably wouldn't believe you. I'll knock the teeth out my head. We'll see. All the things waiting for me beyond the castle walls, beyond the garage doors.
All right. And yeah, I love
Good
yeah,
song.
it's really a warm song. I completely agree with that. And I think that kind of goes into like cuz in this album like they speak really close into the mic. I notice, which I think makes it like
Yeah,
that warmth sound and that intimate like sound, I feel
that's
like.
right. Yeah, yeah,
And
you're right about it.
it's sort of
The
like opposite to like Bright Green Field. I feel like Bright Green Field is like it's cold, very like sometimes it feels emotionless a little bit. Like
I wouldn't say that.
I
But
I don't know. That's sort of what I kind of get from Bright Green Field. What do you think?
what what do you mean Brad Griffin is kind of emotionless?
So
Because
I don't know. Like there's definitely like like emotion, but I'm just saying it feels really cold compared to this one. Like maybe that's my main point.
oh
Yeah.
yes, Of course, it feels cold. It's an album about society in
Mhm.
general. So it has to have that cold sound, and Ollie Judge is screaming. It's really making him her part from the listener. He kind of invites you into a warm hug at the same time,
Mhm. Wait,
even
sorry.
though there are
On
moments.
Cowards or in Brad Greenfield? Sorry.
The warm hug is on Cowards,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
him screaming and making us away is on Brad Griffin. Sorry, I didn't make that clear. Uh,
And
yeah, but on Brad Griffin, it's the purpose of the album already with Maffa Sky Murphy, if I'm right.
yeah,
Which is screaming along a narrator.
trying to
Damn.
like break out
Uh,
of the like
yeah,
character.
exactly. It's a call to arms in a way. Brad Greenfield.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we
Uh,
can kind of go into like the like because I know they talk about like evil within itself or itself, right?
yeah.
And yeah, like talking about like the like murders, like cannibalism, sort of that stuff. Like, how do you think that plays out in the album? Like, what about evil is it like talking about?
It, they- they're not shy to talk about it. It's nice because it's kind of step by step. First, there's cannibalism, which is not a great way to start, but it's a way, I guess. Then you have Building 650, which is about murderer. Then you have Blood on the Borders, which is clearly about dark tourism, I think, and or YouTube media would just gets info about murderers and gives those info. It's kind of the whole album has this weird sensation. You don't want to be with those people. They're weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know how to say it, but the evil is just always there. There's always something fucked up.
yeah,
So
it kind of like Brett Greenfield is like the overall, and it feels like Cowards is like
yeah,
the specific people that are like in like
yeah,
society that are like causing this like evil, you know?
of course, yeah. It's very. There's a lot of inspiration
Yeah, they
from other media
books,
on this
right?
album.
I think.
A lot of books, man. Just I was just digging about it. There's like so Tender is the Flesh for Crispy Skin. There's In the Miso Soup, as well as a movie called Lost in Transmission. For Blood of the Borders, I don't think there's anything. Fieldworks, neither. Uh, Cro-Magnon Man is maybe based on a book about the Cro-Magnon Man, I guess.
Yeah,
Cowards
isn't it like
Texans.
pulled from like scientific like old scientific like books?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's that, but it's more like a metaphor for a Cro-Magnon man. I really think it's like a man that doesn't fit society conformity and way to make people surrender. It's a man that just lacked depth. Like in the song, they say that he doesn't have the wherewithal. He doesn't. He's a cuboid man. I always find this this sentence kind of weird because since I'm French, I have to kind of find a way to translate to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But cuboid man doesn't really make sense, even if I translate it. It's
Yeah.
just weird. So, do you have an idea of why a cuboid man? It's just Minecraft, or I don't know.
Cuboid Man, like I guess like he's talking about like his form, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
maybe.
because they talk about the shadow. Then
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you're just saying like out of like he feels out of place because of like his form. Like I don't. Yeah, like does that make sense? Like.
yeah, I kind of get the idea. Like, yeah, see, I take the idea that the one singing the song is society itself, talking about this creature, this Cro-Magnon man that she doesn't want because yeah, the wherewithal, the cuboid, she is not interested in what questions her in a way.
Yeah, that song. Yeah, that's my favorite song on the album. I really
That's your
like.
favorite song?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's kind of different from the other ones, but a little bit like
Yeah, that's
there's like a lot of like
bad.
kraut rock in there.
But by the way, do you have an interpretation for cowards like the song? Because I can't put my finger on it. I can't find what he wants. What's the purpose of the song?
Hmm. I I I don't know. Like.
Like
Hmm.
it talks about raining in the castle, and there's then dogs and rats, and the last sentence, when we put the pellets down and we walk around the town. I searched for the traduction of pellets, and it can be a pellet gun. So to me, it has this kind of message of put our weapons down and walk around the town. It's kind of a peace act in a way to say, let's stop fighting about nonsense.
Hmm.
I, I just, I just don't
Yeah.
know.
It's like. It's always. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of there's like a little bit of like it talks about like the environment they like kind of live in, right? Like kind of
Yeah,
like the places like polluted, the polythene bags they litter the streets, and
yeah,
sort of like the whole like chaos of like this place they're trying to build,
yeah.
kind of sort of like
So
what they were
maybe
trying. Yeah.
it's always raining at the castle. What it does it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe because the castle is in bad shape, it's not being taken care of.
Yeah, I think you're kind of onto something there. Yeah, I
Uh,
think it just goes more into
it's
like just like describing the place that is like filled
yeah,
with these like
uh,
evil people. Like,
like something about it, like raining in a castle. It's like raining in the house I'm in, in the room I'm in.
mhm.
I saw a show not long after seeing Cowards, listening to Cowards, and there's this scene where this character gets screamed over, and they're like in a relationship and all, and it starts raining in the room. And I'm like, is it maybe a way for Cowards to show that society is kind of screaming at nature, and it was supposed to be in kind of balanced relationship, like society takes the lead but takes care of the environment at the same time, but society just scream at it, and it's like the relationship breaking apart. I really,
Oh,
I'm just
it's a hard one. I
big hypothesis.
so wait, it's always raining out, never but never outside. I think like maybe it's sort of um like hmm people are like I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think like people
No
like are
worries.
outside like they just like live their like lives, but these people like maybe like they're forced to stay inside, like you know what I mean. I Yeah, it's I don't know.
it's it's difficult for me to find what this song is about, because to me, when the song has a purpose, when I understand the meaning of it, it just brings it to another level.
Hmm.
Yeah, it talks about dogs and rats, and then castle walls, garage doors. Maybe pellets because we poisoned the rats with it,
Mm.
and I don't know why the dogs, because we don't kill dogs basically. Yeah. But like to me, it's a message of peace in a way.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like
I agree.
since society always screams at us, but the environment will always be open armed. It's always optimistic in a way, because like let's put the pellets down and walk around the town together.
As like yeah, people, yeah, world peace, I guess.
Yeah, I think it could be that basically.
Hmm. Yeah, it's like it's kind of hard because they pull everything from like these like very like different medias. It's kind of like we have to study before like looking at the
Oh
lyrics,
man,
right? Like,
I, I, I'm not a book reader. I'm not a book reader.
yeah,
I'm
me
not gonna
neither.
read the
So
books.
this is yeah, like,
But
but yeah, it's yeah. There's like a lot of like depth in these like lyrics, like especially like
yeah,
for the
it
first part of
brings a kind of challenge. It brings a challenge. You have to understand it, trying to make sense of it.
hmm
That's a challenge for me. I like it.
yeah. And yeah, where do we go with that? Do you want to talk about more of like the instrumentation on this record?
Yeah, it's very cinematic
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool because the song after Cowards is named Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like this part where the song just cuts up and it just beeps and boops,
Mm-hmm.
and it starts to build up and it's doing his thing on the hi-hats. And then, and then it just goes full beast mode on the drum. And I assure you, I got goosebumps because this scene, this moment is very cinematic because it's basically the character just falling off a building. And there's like this kind of relief in a way because we are in the head of Andy Warhol in the song at this moment.
And
So
who, sorry?
Andy Warhol. Showtime is about Andy Warhol.
Oh,
It's
okay.
you know where it is?
No, I'm not too familiar on.
Okay. You know Pop Art? Pop Art.
No.
Basically, he did something with Marilyn Monroe. It's like a print and it's a face in different color.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's really no. Okay,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
guy. But as well, he filmed not safe for work media with some actors, but he was kind of a lot into being behind the scene and filming them, and it's kind of his weird fantasy. And there's this girl that was against it. She filmed in his movies, and she was really not into it. And there was a thing was just getting on the table and saying "Showtime," I think, or something like that. And so the song is about her because she never got to her 25th birthday because she jumped off a building, and. So the end of the song is Andy Warhol just watching the thing and being like, "Oh man, that's great." He just laughed through it,
Ooh,
and
yeah.
since we are in the head of the guy, we have his relief, his pleasure. So it's weird because it's a moment where I'm like, "That's fucking great," but I'm at the same time like, "No, maybe not."
Yeah, it's like it's
just
dark.
horrible for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't shy away from being cool and dark at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It
They
really goes
have
into the.
always been about anxiety. Always anxiety. They call them anxiety rock. And I like this name because
Mm.
it's cool.
That's a nice genre term for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. They like I like like the instrumentation, like the beep boops on Showtime, like, and sort of like
Yeah.
I love the especially when we were listening to Cowards, like the at the end, like the trumpet, like it's just so like grand, so nice. Like
Yeah.
I always you know like Brett Greenfield, they do that, but in the like in a cold way. But now it's like
Not as much.
yeah, it's a
Yeah, I like because it's long notes that stays and it just revolve. With Breaker Pain, it was like ta 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 ta, and they were changing it. It's cool. I like it, but it was nice to have the sounds, and on chords, it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I also also love like the instrumentation on like the big buildups like on Well Met, which we're gonna play, and
Oh man, Well Met.
yeah,
Well Met is very cinematics.
that's
It's
probably the
very
most
cinematic.
cinematic one.
Oh
Or
yeah. It starts with this with the weird song, with the weird sound, and then it just builds up the thing very slowly. And the end, there's the big. We're gonna listen to it anyway. Yeah, but I have a lot of things to say about this song because I have a lot of interpretation about what it could talk about.
yeah,
That's
there's a
why.
lot of stuff on that song that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah.
8 minutes of pleasure.
Mm-hmm. So my question is, it could be a yes or no, but do you think this album will be a classic, like from like 10 years, like, or 20? Do you think it will be a classic?
I think for now it's the magnum opus, but a classic is like. Are you talking classic like OK Computer classic or more
Yeah,
like
like
End from
kind of
Up
like
There
that stuff.
classic? No, it's not gonna be because Radiohead had the pleasure to make Creep that made him very famous, and they made The Bands, which was very cool and very famous. So they had this kind of fandom, a grand fandom. And with OK Computer, it just settled everyone in. But I'm not sure Squid can achieve that yet, because their sound is too special. That it's too unique. Maybe I'm gatekeeping it. I'm gatekeeping it. I know it, but the way they play is not for a classic, and it's not a weird. I think the new sound has more chance to become a classic in like 10 years than a Cowards. But I would love. It's my classic. I love it.
What about Bright Green Field? Do you we had some
Oh, no, it's not.
no. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
good, but there's still a vibe of classic post-punk, like angry people talking about angry things. There's the start of a lot of things that are just beautiful and which lead to Monolith and Cowards, but it's just like post-punk.
Yeah. There's a lot of like it pulls a lot of influence from that, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it do you want to talk about both of the field works?
Oh yeah, we can talk about it. I love. I'm sad because there's a live show on YouTube called the Scala. Scala that was done in early 2023, so before the release of Our Monolith. And I used to listen to it to listen to the new song, and there was like fieldworks at the time, and I was like, it's beautiful. I love it. And I was like, wait, it's not on the new album. So since 2023, I've been waiting for that song. So when I saw that it was separated in two parts, I kind of sad because it was a beautiful 8-minute song, and this was another part after the Fieldworks 2. That was taking back the first part, but with more drumming and a lot of more things. For the song in himself, I like the first part because it takes this blurry idea. It's not a complete idea, but you start to get a shape of it. It
Yeah.
talks about
And then Fieldworks 2 kind of develops on that idea.
yeah. In the first part, you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about, man?" It's like you're like you fall into it, but fall into what? Addiction, drug? I don't know. And then in the second part, you're like, "Oh, he's evil too. He murdered people because." And in fact, he knows how bad he has become, and that's one of the first part that I could consider humane in the album. Even though I would say Crispy Skin has a human part as well in the end of the song.
Can you explain more about that human part?
It's like Crispy Skin shows this idea. So in the first part of the song, before just stopping coming back with the beautiful piano, it just talks about this new food and it not getting into the details. It not talks where it comes from. It just say you like it, you read the book and you want it, and it's great. And then there's this second part with a more melancholic feeling to it, and it's like we keep them underground. It's talking about it's talking about it, and in a way, I find the main character of the song is like thinking back and thinking maybe it's wrong what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that's kind of the humane part about it.
Yeah, because there's this thinking of who the main character is, and it's coming back on Fieldworks because the main character is thinking about who he is. So yeah.
Yeah. I think I prefer it to be not separated personally as well. It's
Oh yeah.
like
you should check the Scala show. I will send you the link.
yeah, send me the link.
You must listen to. I will send you to the link to the OG show because damn, there's like another song called Bank that was not on the album but on the 10th vinyl. I don't know.
Yeah. I think you're talking about the deluxe one, like the 10-inch.
Yeah, the deluxe, exactly. It's on it, and I'm not a big fan of it. I'm glad it's not on the album because it's kind of a step down.
Yeah, and we've been like kind of like trying to like look at the lyrics a little bit, not very surface level like stuff. But what are your favorite lyrics on the whole entire album?
Okay.
And I'll tell you
there's this
mine.
part on. But come on, go start.
I I don't know. I always like this part because I quoted it here. I and the
Okay.
horse's head over its hoofs, a combination of elegance and speed. I don't know. I love how
Ooh,
they say it. It's just I don't really know what like it kind of describes like the Cro-Magnon man a little bit more, but I just like how they say it, and I love that whole part where they're like dun 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 dun, dun. Yeah, like that stuff. That's why I love
really
that
love
song
this
so
part.
much.
I get the feeling I have a lot of lyrics I love. One is from Blood on the Boulders. There's like two of the chorus where it's like the California sun on my face, all those drugs they used. Yeah. After that, there's like Brian's getting interviews. So like you had a groove at the start, and then it just comes down,
Mellows down.
and it's like. Um, on who they fucked and what they ate and who they killed. We want to know. And you can't, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up.
You
And
know,
just hearing him saying over and over again, we want to know, is just
very good. Yeah.
absolutely great.
You know what that part reminds me of? Like the who
Yeah.
they killed and who they like that part reminds me so much
Yes.
of Slint. I don't know why. Like
Slint. I never listen. I listened to a couple of songs, but never. If I should listen to Spiderland, I should listen to Spiderland.
yeah,
I know it.
because they kind
I'm
of
just
like that song. Like they always like have those like kind of build ups, like where it's like quiet and then like they kind of like do the same thing on Blood on the Boulders a little bit, but in like a different way. They
yeah.
don't like. It's not like it. Yeah, you know what I mean.
I guess.
Yeah.
And another lyric I love, it's the future looks perfect from the backseat in Well Met. It just explains it just explains everything on the album. It's the best lyric Squid has ever made.
Wait, say it again. I didn't catch it.
The best lyrics on the whole album that resume it, that
Mhm.
makes it so special, is the future looks perfect from the backseat. It's the last lyric told at the end of Well Met. It just makes so much sense with the context of the album.
Yeah, the
It's
evil
like
in like
it's like we did nothing to change that, but we don't mind. And so yeah, love Well Met. It's the song that took me the most time to realize what it was talking about, but I'm glad I did because it makes so much sense amongst the album. That's why for me, I talked to you about it and said it was a central piece because in every part from the instrumentation to the beginning to the end to the lyrics, everything refers to the whole album in a way. And I don't know if you want to get into that right now, but I'm ready when you are.
Wait, oh yeah. To get into the song?
Oh, we can just talk about the song, the
Yeah.
lyrics for now, and
Yeah,
we can
let's
listen
talk
to
about the
part
lyrics and then
later.
we'll play it at the end.
Okay. So
sorry, go ahead.
It starts with this kind of rolling machine. It's weird to explain what it is. Oh yeah, can you put the lyrics, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So they talks about the cliff and the sea worry me. It takes weeks and weeks and weeks of energy. The church in the town is crumbling down. One of the first things that interests me is the church in the town. Is it crumbling down? It's like a question, like they expect it to crumble down, but they ask it anyway. Then the more that you eat, the bigger the meal. It's like society. It's never enough. They always want more. Whistle back my shoes and coat from the robot in my clothes. It's like the mundane man going to work. He puts his shoes and he puts his tie and he puts his whole show to go work on a computer in a society. Ground is filling up with stone, no more grass between my toes. It's society destroying nature. Then you have the all chorus. The list of guests is growing, so it's the overpopulation. And we can see them looking. They are expecting something from the past, while them expect something from the future. So that's what there is then. The kids all in green eat their beans. The green part I don't know, but they eat
Wait,
their beans. They ride and ride and ride with energy. So they ride. It's the youth. It's the new way of living. So like the old people have less and less energy from week to week, but the youth ride with energy. They never get that out of energy. They're putting out fires, and they're making new plans. That's
yeah,
another really interesting part because they're putting out fires. They're resolving the issues and they're finding new plans to make society works. They're washing their clothes with ash on their hands. So the ash is a reference to the fire. So they are able to live alive to get themselves take care of themselves and society at the same time, trying to getting it together. So then the sentence "the church in the town is crumbling down" has another meaning when we know that from the second lyrics. It's like old people expect the church to fall out, and they expect the young people to take care of it for them. That's the idea, and so they repeat it before the breaking everything apart, because they it's like a way of saying, "Hey, man, you should take care of it,"
yeah, like it's sort of like the youth now are like following like the expectations of like
Exactly. It's there was always this talk about man, how the we expected the youth to do it. We put out problems that the youth could resolve, and that it's generation to generation. It's
Yeah.
like that. It has
Always
always
been.
been like that. It's a great way to talk about climate change without saying it out loud.
Yeah,
It's very interesting. So, and it leads to the end that is for me a nuclear war. It's the end of the world, the apocalypse. I don't know how you want to say it, but it looks like the best. Exactly the idea of it. Nothing will stay after us because we didn't have the time to take care of it. We never took enough care of it.
Yeah, because
I
we're
don't know
just
what you
like
think of it.
like putting it to the next generation of people. So it's
Exactly.
always gonna be
Yeah.
like the cycle of that.
So yeah, tombstones are rolling, circle and closing. Alors, sorry, I spoke French for a second. Tombstone are rolling. I also read tombstone eroding. So like it's the idea of a tombstone falling apart. It's the symbol of a tombstone just dying, breaking apart.
Yeah, and yeah, there the end. Yeah, what do you think about like this part, like the end of it? Is it just more like
Yeah.
the
And we just play our songs to the sea and hope that nothing comes. It's the sea. It's a reference to the start of the song. They talk the wind and the sea worry me. So it's a way of saying now I don't really care about how the sea is because I know I'm gonna die, and hope that nothing comes and washes us away through metal fences. My finger rested, obliterated. I do nothing.
yeah.
You do not. It's exactly that. I do nothing. I will not try to change this. And so then
Just
you have
accepting like
well, the other things that you could be, the well, they just go away. I fucked up, and you have to pay the consequences.
so yeah
In a
now
flash of red and blue, it's the idea. In a flash of red and blue, it's like for me an impact frame, as the bomb just collides on the ground. You know.
that's interesting. Yeah,
And like I said, the future's perfect from the backseat.
yeah,
It
and
just, I never did nothing and I will never do nothing. But since I'm from the backseat, I can see it's not my fault. It looks good for me. You see, exactly deciding. That's
just like
to me.
accepting
That's
just accepting your fate, kind of.
yeah. But in a way, it lacks justice because the youth have to do all these efforts, and nowadays we can see that the youth is taking into their own hands the problem of the old generation. But is it gonna be enough? That's
Yeah.
what this song about. Is it gonna be enough? it's a way maybe to make old people think and make them realize that they have to do their part as well.
Yeah, not just the youth. That that I always there's always like a lingering feeling that there was climate like stuff about the environment in like the in
Yeah.
this album, but I just never like really like thought about it. I just kind of like thought about it for a little bit and then put it aside, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I have a, so what do you think of the song? What was your what what did you think was it about?
um, I don't know. I always like just looked at it like just as like a like conclusion of like this whole entire like
Mm,
thing. Like we're kind of like resting like now and just like thinking about it a little bit. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah, it's a way like to close the book.
yeah, like a very good conclusion paragraph to like the whole entire
Yeah.
album.
Yeah, but the conclusion must have sense.
Mhm.
And if it's just a conclusion to be a conclusion, it doesn't fit Squid well because all this album had a purpose, and I can always feel it from one song to the other. It has always made sense to me. And then this one comes, and there's no more story, there's no more character. It's just life. It's just us. It's the reality of things. It just makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, do you wanna play the song?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe let's play because I have a big interpretation about the and what the sounds are. So we said the last 2 minutes
Last 2
of the
minutes.
song. Yeah.
So it's 8 minutes, so 6. So like this part? You wanna play it from here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Oh man, it's perfect for me.
Oh my gosh, it played from the start.
Even back to the start.
In a flash of red and blue, the future's perfect. From the backseat,
All
Yeah.
right.
So for the last part of the album, what makes me think that it's so connected? It's like do you remember like the start of the album? How does it start?
It's like the bum 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 dum, dum, like the electronic beat and then the drums come in, right? Kind of.
Yeah, there's like this electronic piano that's doing the you know, it sounds great. And then I listened to this song, and there's this part like when there's no singing and you heard it, there's like the harpsichord that start doing the same thing. There's like or something really similar. And what it did to me is like I was like, it's exactly like the start of the album. It's just like maybe for me it's a way of saying, oh, the end of the world happened because we let those kind of things happen, like cannibalism, murderism. We didn't let cannibalism become a thing, but it's a way to show our limits. It's a way to show that everything is connected. It's a way for the listener, like, if the character of this world die at the end of the world, the nuclear apocalypse, and it's like the last instance of life, a way to put us through it is like a last instance of life is this album, the whole continuity. And then it just comes down and just has these sort of little percussions at the end. And I'm like, it's tribal, it's a Cro-Magnon man. We
Very
just
explosive.
go back, we de-evolve.
Like
Yeah,
the
we
drum
just
parts.
de-evolve. When it just stops, you know, there's just the
Mm-hmm.
it's really, I explained it really bad, but it's the idea that what will be of us after this? We just go back to being Cro-Magnon men, and we have to evolve again. That's the idea I have of this song.
Kind of like you said, like it connects like from the start and then from the finish. Maybe it kind of like loops, like sort of like
Exactly. It's like this album by Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, no,
Igor,
I know what you mean, the Igor, right? Yeah, where
there's the first note of the first song which is the same note of the last song. You get me.
Yeah,
it's exactly what I thought about when I listened to this. It's maybe not a loop because the harpsichord disappeared, but it has the same effect for me. It's a way to show a cycle of evil. It just, in the finite state, it just asks us the question, do you want to become evil like that? Do you want to let this fly by? Do you want to get to make sins like the man from Fieldworks? Do you want to put the pellets down like in Cowards? You have to make a choice.
Yeah, or else it will happen again, and then we'll have to restart the album.
I don't mind.
Yeah,
as long as I can listen to it, I'm really glad.
Yeah,
like that's the idea of the album for me.
And so we're kind of trailing off towards the end a little bit, but I just like if you love this album, like you should definitely go back to their older records.
Oh, don't worry. I'm just having a playlist on Spotify that just all of the works from the first EP they had. It's like a weird. It's really pink. The color is pink of the EP, and there's like this song with just 2 bars like that, like the pause bar on YouTube. And it's a different sound. There's also a Subterranean Change of a Blues, 2007 to 2012, which is great as well. I just discovered those songs, and I'm like, God damn it! I'm just looping that because I have the chance to go see them live in Paris on the 9th of April, so I'm fucking glad.
Yeah, I need to go back into like those old EPs. That's something that I should be doing, but I haven't. So
take your time, man. But it's really great to listen to.
And I guess another thing we could talk about, like, do you like other like windmill scene acts, like where like if this was like your first like entry point, like Cowards, where would you like go, like trail off?
Well,
into other
from my experience, right after discovering Squid, I discovered Black Midi, and I didn't like it at first as well, and I listened to Black Continual Row. That's the next step, but it's like the whole Black Continual, the really dark part with Isaac Wood, mostly for the first time, which is to me their best work. I know, and From Up There is like the masterpiece, but For the First Time is great. This just to me, it's like the next step. Well, after Brad Griffin, maybe not sure. Okay, I would say this. After Cowards, maybe Shame, Food for Worms. I think it's the next step because it's also an album that's really a way for the band to get away from the style while still having a nice idea. It's an album about letting people change and accept change.
Wait, so
And
what is the
it's
album?
really Food for Worms by Shim. Wait, I'm gonna write it down. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that band.
Wait, I'm gonna. It's a great album. Yeah, it's right there. It's probably their best work. No, it's not their best. I prefer like the second album, Drunk Tank Pink, which is really punk. But if I gotta say, this one is maybe the most well worked. It's really beautiful as well. Love the art style they had for this album. I'm glad to have it in my collection. I gotta say. I was pretty lucky. I went to fuck. I don't know the name of the country. Wait a minute. It's like Greenland, I think? No, it's not Greenland. It's like, oh fuck. Leave me 2 seconds.
Iceland?
You can
No.
No, it's not Iceland. It's wait. The Netherlands. Yeah, the Netherlands. I went to the Netherlands and they have a big record store, and I found the record, and there was like a print of the album with all the members who signed it. So I have it right there. It's, I mean, I'm diverging. Sorry.
Wait, yeah, they also did that for Cowards. They also have the signed.
Oh, you have that? You have it? Fuck!
Yeah.
I wanted it so bad. I
Yeah.
didn't have it. I'm so sad. I was unable to have it. I don't know why. I pre-ordered it on the site, but I never got it.
Oh, you
I
never
was
got
so
it?
sad, man.
Oh,
Well, I have the album. But I don't have the print, and that's sad for me.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Yeah, because
Is it like deluxe edition?
No, it's not a deluxe edition, but it's just the clear. The clear.
Is the color? It's the clear,
Yeah.
the gray clear. It's a beautiful vinyl, but
Yeah, but that sucks that you didn't get the pre-order in.
man, I'm so disappointed, and kind of the cover is a little bit scratched up, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah,
I'm
at least
glad.
you have. But yeah,
I think I'll take the I think I'll take the vinyl and the cover of the vinyl and make them sign it. So it's directly on top of it.
yeah,
That would be my victory.
well, that will be nice. Yeah, put it on the actual cover. Yeah, but
Yeah.
thank you guys for watching, and thank you for being here. This one,
Oh,
it was
thank
kind
you for
of
inviting me.
thank you for being, because you knew more about this album than kind of I do, so it was a good one to talk
really
about.
liked it.
Wait, sorry, what did you say?
I'm really glad you invited me. I'm glad that you. I just digged it so much. I think I have 100 time listened to each song almost.
Oh wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot. I was waiting for the great Squid album, and it was there, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm glad we
Definitely
could
worth
talk
the
about
wait.
it.
Yeah, but thank you guys for watching, and thank you for showing up. And yeah,
No worries.
see you
Anytime.
guys next time. Goodbye.